Okay, so the first stage done with 5 picks correct. Um, to be honest, when I look back on this, I think Mongols kind of surprised me. They overperformed. Um, and Fluxo did exactly what we expected them to do, but the other team that went 0-3, Mouse, that was definitely a huge surprise. So yeah, I think that was a huge underperformance from them, but then again, they really had a tough bracket, with NIP, OG, etc. So again, not too bad. I'm not disappointed. We're still going on for the diamond coin. Okay, so here, when I look at the legend stage, I'm thinking about, what are the teams that could potentially go through. And when I look at it, the teams I'm expecting to go through are, of course, there's Navi, Heroic, Vitality, ENCE, G2, FaZe, etc. But it's going to be a bit tougher because of the seeding, and there are a lot of teams that are going against, good teams going against each other in the first round and bad teams going against each other in the first round. So, I would usually put my trio pick here, and that would be the team that, maybe will go through, maybe wouldn't go through, but then I would put, safe picks here. But that's the problem actually with this stage, because if we look at the matchups in the first round, pretty much every matchup, but literally every matchup is almost a 50-50, and you can't really bet on, I don't know, for example, you know putting Furia here, because Furia played their first game against Monty, which they could like easily lose, so that's that's not something I'm actually looking at. You can put, probably the best bet would be to put Navi here, because Navi plays against Gamer Legion. They have a, easy first round, and then in the second round, because there are a lot of underdog against underdog matchups, they could get like an easy underdog matchup in a second round as well. And then only in the third round, when they get to the best of three, are they actually going to play a good team, which, now we can beat any of the teams here. They can beat Vitality, they can beat Heroic, they can beat FaZe, G2. They are truly a contender for the major title. So I think just based on the seeding, I think now he has the best chance to go 3-0, and that's why I'm gonna put him here. Because I think I have a lot of teams to put here as 7 teams that could potentially advance. And then let's go with that. Heroic, number one team in the world, uh, team that has been making finals consistently on the big events. They're also always in the top fours, always in the playoffs. They're just you know they're just the best team of all the teams. The way they play, proactive play, team play, chemistry in the team, like they're just out of this world compared to anybody else here. So yeah, they're definitely one of the contenders to go. Not contenders, they're contenders to winning this entire major. Same here with G2, a little bit more firepower. They don't have as good team play maybe as a Heroic, and maybe not as good structure as Heroic, but they're like insane. G2 definitely one of the contenders to win the title as well. Vitality, you know, a team that can easily, again, as I said, win the title here. They have best player in the world, probably Zaivu. He's at the moment best player in the world. Sphinx is going into, getting into his own, and they just won the IEM Rio, of course, not against the best field, but they still did beat some good teams. They beat Heroic in the finals. You know, uh, they are definitely contender for the title. FaZe again, you can never write FaZe off. They're still one of the top 5 teams in the world, definitely. So they also should be making it through. These 5 teams here, I think, are the best 5 teams in the world. I think also HLTV ranking, reflects that. So these are the 5 teams that I'm looking at when I think about who are going to make it to the, legend stage. No, not legend stage, champion stage, and you know, the major playoff. Now the next team that I definitely think has a chance to go through to the playoffs is ENCE. They've shown consistently that they're good. Nerds has been a good pickup. They're just, pummeling through everybody. They cruise through the challenger stage. They beat FaZe, so yeah, they should be pretty safe. They also have like a easy matchup against BNE in the first round, so they're definitely going through. Now, this is where things start to get a bit tricky. Here are the couple of teams that I can consider in the last two picks. One of them is Liquid, one of them is NIP, and maybe we can go with Furia and with Nine. So out of those four teams, which teams I think have the best chance of going through? So honestly speaking, I think with these five teams, I already saved my pick'ems. But I think Team Liquid, just based on the player quality they have Elise, they have Naf, they have Kinder, and of course also he has been having a tournament of his life. So I think just based on that, there is a serious chance. They're always going to be a contender just based on the player quality that they have. Now there's NIP, Furia, and Nine. I'm not sure where I want to go with this. Furia, they have been really inconsistent. They did change their playstyle a bit. They tried to play more structured, European playstyle. But still, are they going to pick for the major? I'm not sure. It's hard to tell, and they can easily, just flop when they try to make a drastic change like that. So if it clicks, they could easily be the playoff team, maybe even contending. Maybe they can make a deep run, semis, for example, if they upset some of the teams. But then again, they could also just flop, so I'm not sure with them. NIP also, they have been consistently performing a little bit worse than you would expect based on the names they have. So, they did go through in the last stage, but then again, they played Greyhound and they barely beat Greyhound. Like, Greyhound could have been here instead of NIP. Just, think about that. So, I'm not sure. I think when NIP, I think they don't have such a favorable draw. They're playing against Fnatic, which I think is the team that's basically somewhere around their level. They're maybe a little bit better than Fnatic. So I'm not willing to put my money on a piece. So as for Nine, they have been showing that they are like consistently, good team. They're probably contending for the best Vertigo team in the world, and definitely could be best Vertigo team at this major. They're also they have decent overpass. It can be really, how to say, it can be really uh, uncomfortable to play them on these maps. Their ancient is shit though, so they could be in trouble with that. But I could actually see them making the playoffs. I think they have better chance to make playoffs than Furia, definitely. I think they have better chances than NIP. I think head to head, the Nine could easily beat any of those teams. So maybe I'm buying into the hype, but I think Nine are going to go through. They're just playing proactive style always. They have really good team play, really good chemistry, like almost as much as Heroic. So I think definitely Nine could be going through. They're also innovating a lot of stuff. So I think, and I heard, from Kassad that after he talked to some of the players, that pro players are actually afraid to play against Nine, because Nine is a serious contender, at least in the eyes of the other pros. So, you know, uh, Nine could be going through easily. And let's look at the other teams. Who am I picking as my O3? Now that's the problem, So there are some serious contenders like Into the Breach, Apex, Bad News Eagles, and Gamer Legion. I think Monty is going to win at least a game. They have enough firepower for that. Fnatic also maybe can even sneak through. Furia can easily sneak through. So which of the teams here has reasonable chance to go 0-3. Now, when I look at Apex and Into the Breach, the main problem here is that they're playing against each other, and I think that's a 50-50 matchup, you know? Into the Breach could easily beat them, especially in the best of one. Also, same true for Apex. Apex are in a decent run of form, so if I had to pick one of the teams, I'm not sure which team would I pick to win this best of one. So I don't want to waste my 0-3 pick in any of these teams because they could easily, you know, one of them is going to win the first round, and then I'm just, it's a coin toss. So I'm not gonna bet my 0-3 pick on a coin toss. But then again, Bad News Eagles and Gamer Legion have terrible first round matchups. Terrible for them, of course. Bad News Eagles is playing against ENCE. ENCE is just, class above Bad News Eagles. So I think ENCE should probably have comfortable. They should be comfortable winning that. And when we look at Gamer Legion against Navi, I think Navi is going to stomp them. I don't think Gamer Legion has what it takes to play against Navi. Like, I think Navi versus Gamer Legion is probably the biggest disparity we have in the first round, between the two teams. Every other matchup is kind of close, but this one not at all. So I think Gamer Legion and BNE are guaranteed to lose their first round. And I'm not sure. I'm not sure, depending on how the bracket works, who's gonna be having more favorable draws. But if I had to bet against anyone, I think I'm going to bet against Gamer Legion. I think there's an off chance if ENCE have a bad day that Bad News Eagles just, based on the firepower they have, and crispy aimers, they might steal a map against ENCE, but Gamer Legion I don't think has a chance to do that against Navi. And afterwards we're gonna see the draw, but I think Gamer Legion is serious contender for 0-3, and I think they're almost guaranteed to lose the first map. So I'm definitely going for Gamer Legion here as an 0-3 pick.